Papoose and Remy Ma just disrupted the entire Black love narrative. Evidence? They've taken their disagreements public across social media. Remy criticized Papoose, calling him dusty and accusing him of seeking attention. In return, Papoose fired back, describing Remy as manipulative and unfaithful. If ever there was a sign to leave a situation, this might be it. Things are unraveling quickly. Claressa Shields, a top-tier athlete with no children and currently single, is now involved with Papoose, who, despite the turmoil, is still legally married. This situation is packed with complications. Papoose seems to be emotionally spiraling over Remy, and she's not far behind, even if she acts unaffected. Truth is, she's clearly feeling the pressure.
You're a piece of shit, Papoose. You really are. You have turned into a piece of shit. The gambling, the failures that you've had in your career or whatever that didn't pan out how you wanted to, has turned you into somebody else.
You're very cruel to people because you're a narcissist. She's the type of person who will say something to you, and 10 to 5 minutes later, she'll say, I didn't say that. Straight bipolar. Was diagnosed with it. You're not Cardi B, man. Let's keep it a buck. This is how phony you is.
Honestly, Claressa should probably take a step back. The chain of events that ignited this entire situation between Remy and Papoose began right after Claressa's interview on The Breakfast Club. When asked about Papoose, she handled the question diplomatically. In my view, yes, there was already some tension last year. Remy accused Claressa's team of publishing a shady article, which led to her publicly criticizing both Claressa and Papoose online. But in that interview, Claressa didn't say anything inflammatory. Could she have gone deeper into the topic? Perhaps. But nothing she said justified Remy's intense reaction. That said, some of Remy's comments might still be worth Claressa's attention.
Say that again?
You said earlier there's some things Pap need to handle? I don't know.
In his personal life.
Oh,
yeah, it's the elephant in the
okay.
room. Like, but that takes time. And like I said, that's not my place to speak on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have any ill will toward any women, and I don't have any ill will toward her.
Nobody shouldn't have any ill will towards me because I ain't do nothing to nobody. I look at it now and I feel sorry for old girl. Like, I feel sorry for her. I told Papoose. I told them, why don't you tell this stuff? Why don't you tell your current come up? So that's what it is. Tell your current come up. Don't say nothing about me. You are a world champion. You are accomplished. You have made it from out the ghetto, from the slums, from the depths of Flint, Michigan. You don't got no kids. You have your whole life ahead of you. But why are you attaching yourself to this 47-year-old man that doesn't have anything going, has no career, no job, no income, except for the income that he's claiming off of your percentage because he's your manager? Got you out here talking, looking crazy. He's the one that don't want to sign, don't want to get his stuff out of his ex house. Doesn't be there for his child that he begged for, but telling you he wants another one. Let me guess. He's telling you he want a son, right? He has a son. He just doesn't like his son's preference, so he acts like he doesn't have a son. He has a son. We have a son. What are we talking about? I literally told my friends, they was like, yo, you think he ever gonna leave? I was like, when he finds a replacement, when he finds someone who we think he can have doing all the shit that I was doing, then he'll leave. Girl, man, don't nobody fall in love faster than somebody with nowhere to stay. I don't even know who he is today. Let me rephrase that. Because the person that I married in 2008, that's not who this is now. Now he's a wife.
Claressa is standing firmly beside her partner, fully backing him and addressing everything Remy said. She stepped in to clarify that Remy was being dishonest about Papoose managing her career. According to Claressa, Mark Taffet is her actual manager, and she takes her finances seriously. She also mentioned that Papoose played a major role in her success by opening doors and helping her land significant opportunities. In her view, he's stable, he has his own vehicle, his own home, and everything is secure on her side. But Remy countered that by asking, if everything is so great, Why hasn't he hired a lawyer and moved forward with the divorce? Reportedly, he had been delaying the process, only recently filing after Remy brought it up publicly. Honestly, it might be time for Claressa to step away before she becomes entangled in this ongoing situation. There's still a lot of unresolved tension between Remy and Papoose, and their latest back and forth online was intense, but let's not pretend this is new. This isn't the first time Remy and Papoose relationship has played out on social media. Things really escalated when rumors circulated that Remy was involved with battle rapper Easy, the block captain. She does run a battle rap league, and Easy is signed under her. He was out telling people he was involved with Remy, which deeply embarrassed Papoose. Let's remember Papoose supported Remy while she was incarcerated for an alleged shooting incident involving her former friend over money. She served 6 years, and he married her during her sentence, stood by her through everything, even put his own career on hold to be there for her. So now he feels he gave everything to the relationship. When she appeared publicly with Easy, people were shocked. But the situation had another layer because while Remy was serving her sentence, reports say Papoose was also involved with someone else.
Because guess what? I'm such a real one. I know the procedure when somebody goes to prison. I know the procedure. So it was never about infidelity. When I came home and I went straight through that phone immediately. I know what was up. When I had to fight baby mothers at mother-in-law's houses on Thanksgiving, I knew that girl wasn't lying about what she was saying was going on while I was saying. I knew she wasn't lying. I just was mad. I knew she wasn't lying, though. If we keeping it a bean, I knew she wasn't lying.
Remy presented evidence showing that Papoose was still communicating with one of his child's mothers shortly after she returned home. Still, despite all that, she chose to stay. She worked through it. She stayed.
She had a friend that she was away with. She had a certain individual who she was locked up with. I always heard this person's name. I ain't think nothing of it. We had like a little dinner in the basement or whatever at the crib. So this is the first time I seen homegirl outside of when they was in the penitentiary together. So I see her at the crib. Okay, she stayed for a couple days. She spent the night. She tells me, I'm going to sleep in the guest room with such and such. I said, okay, that's cool. I sleep in the room by myself. Next day, same thing. I said, damn, babe, you sleeping in there again? And at this time, I'm trying to be intimate with her. When it's time to go down, she slipped out of it. And I'm like, oh, okay. After she do that, she go back to sleep in the room with homegirl this particular night. But you want to know why she started having so much animosity towards me? Because I ended up finding out the truth, y'all. And I'm not saying this because it's a bad thing, but I'm saying this because she has done a lot of bashing towards people who live that lifestyle and talk so bad about them and say so many foul things about them that it hurted her so bad that I knew the truth. So on another day, I caught her with this individual in our house while my daughter was on the bed with them. Ended up catching it. Now, this individual is a female. So I can't do nothing to her. I don't put my hands on females. But I told her to get out. Because I felt very disrespected that took place in my house while my daughter was right there on the bed.
Now, Papoose has shared his own allegations. He claimed Remy was unfaithful with another woman and that it happened in their home while their daughter was present.
Well, that's another thing I don't like. Oh, she was held down while she was in jail. I was who I was when I went to prison. My royalty check still came in. I gave power of attorney so that they could write checks and go on my account and do this. I was buying Christmas gifts, not just for my son, for 3 other children that I was still getting to know. Paying rent in a house that I paid rent in at least 3 different apartments that I never seen a day in my life. And you know what I came home to? I was paying rent from jail. When we was on them visits and nobody had no money, we was both on a visiting floor cold together. I did stupid shit like, hey, look at my new truck. It's a push gift. I bought that. So I did do some shit to put the sauce on it. But that's what you're supposed to do when you love somebody and you're in a relationship. You make them see like they're bigger than what they are. You understand? The people at Love and Hip Hop, one executive in particular who I heard was doing this behind the scenes. How you gonna be talking crazy like, y'all ain't see me taking 15, 20, 25,000 off of my fee to put it on that, or to put it on his fee? Why would I want my kid father to be messed up? If I got the bag or I'm in position, I'm gonna make sure, like, that's what I do. But that's what he preys on.
That's a serious breach of boundaries, especially with a child around. But here's what complicates it: Papoose didn't leave. So why did he stay? According to Remy, he didn't really have another option. She says she was covering all the expenses and he had nowhere else to go.
First and foremost, I have a cash business. So there's numerous times where I cashed you out and you went and bought things. With my money. With my money. You want to talk about property? We bought this house together. We bought it together. I wrote one of your biggest records, man. One of your biggest hits. So you want to downplay me as an artist when I wrote one of your biggest hits? That's so sad. All of this money talk and all of this and what I don't got and what I got. Since I met her, I have written 90% of the rhymes that came out of her mouth. I never asked for a penny. I never asked for credit. She was my wife. I didn't want anything from her. I just wanted to see her win. Look at the comments. They know what I wrote. I wrote tons of her music. 90% of her music, I wrote it since I've been around her. The only reason why I'm mentioning that is because you fabricated. You fabricated and you talked about my children. And I saved her life one time in music too. She was in a crisis. Papoose pen to the rescue. Anyway, so I'm writing the music. She needed somebody to book shows. I'm doing the contracts, booking the shows, setting the shows up. I'm coming to the show. I'm collecting the first end. I'm collecting the back end. Word is bond. I don't take one penny, y'all.
This man ain't right 90% of anything. Like, I wish he paid 90% of the... Probably wouldn't be here, but that's neither here nor there.
So when Remy mentioned she was covering all the expenses, Papoose didn't stay silent. He responded by saying he was the unseen force behind nearly 90% of her lyrics. According to him, he wrote some of her biggest hits, including Conceited, yet was never officially credited. From his perspective, those royalty payments should have included his name.
When he realized that a regular nigga that can rap, but just not the way we do it. By the way, he makes $50,000 per battle, has about 5-6 battles a year, so he makes at least $250,000 a year. You understand? Great credit score. I never seen a person with a credit score like this in my life. Like the richest people that I've been around. But anyway, unlike some people who beg me to add their name to one of my properties and I have to lean on it because they don't pay their taxes. You was devastated that a regular nigga that used to work for sanitation, got a pension plan, got a 401k, that happens to rap, was able to overcome your manipulation, was able to treat me nice. Not just because the camera's on, not just because people are watching, but because he genuinely felt like that. Not because I was paying his bills, not because I was taking care of his kids. And none of that. None of that. And then, after I created my Battle League, Chrome 23, I hope to make another Battle League that's popping. He signed himself to, he literally that day signed himself to Slit Your Wrist Records and dropped a single the same day.
And honestly, I believe him. I think he wrote Shether too. Even Nicki Minaj seemed to allude to that in No Frauds. But let's not pretend this is only about music. Papoose clearly still has unresolved feelings for Remy. He feels like he gave. His time, energy, and financial support to her career and personal life. He often comes across as someone who wants to be a protector, someone who's drawn to women dealing with emotional wounds or instability. When he steps in and shows them care, they respond by giving back, sometimes financially and emotionally. That dynamic seems to suit him. But it looks like Remy eventually grew out of that arrangement. She wanted a different experience. Now she's moved on with Easy the Black Captain, and Papoose is suggesting she's quietly supporting him too. But Remy quickly stood up for her current partner, especially when it came to giving him his due credit.
But y'all know how it is with these. They could do mad shit to you all day, every day, year after year, decade after decade. But the second you do something to them, the second you say, I'm done, I'm finished, all hell breaks loose. The moment that he knew his job at TuneCore was solidified via that over there, play with me. That's why he was mad that I never posted it, because he doesn't get a check from TuneCore. He was getting a percentage of the subscriptions, and he wanted me to post to my 11 million followers to subscribe to TuneCore. And I told him, tell the TuneCore to post it on the page.
And on this point, I believe Remy. I think Easy triggers something in Papoose, mainly his pride, because he sees him as one of the reasons their relationship and public image collapsed. They went from being celebrated as a model couple to something much messier. But Remy was clear she and Papoose were already dating other people. The trust had already been broken on both sides. Papoose accused her of stepping out, but she pointed out that he had done the same.
You refuse to tell people, hey, me and Rem haven't even slept in the same bed since May 2022. You don't want to tell nobody that. You were so wrapped up in the whole black love thing. That was your thing. That was the only thing you had. Because the original plan was like, you know what? You do what you want to do. I do what I want to do. We said we was going to raise our daughter a certain way, you know, and we'll just, we going to figure out how to live in the same house and whatever. But then, motherfuckers felt like they could control what I do, but do whatever they want to do. What niggas tried to do when it came to my event and make a scene, if y'all really look back, this didn't come from me.
You such a liar. There was no agreement. When I found out you was with the lame, you denied it. You just basically said, yo, why would I be with him? Why do you think I would be with him? And then you wanted to go to therapy. So check it out now. Check it out. So when we go to therapy, me and her both said we want to work it out. I never wanted to leave from under the roof of my baby. That's why I stayed around for this nonsense. And the therapist told her, Remy, since you're saying that it's only business with this dude moving forward, but y'all have a last event coming up, after this event, you're going to cut all ties with this individual. Long story short, she kept cheating with the lane. Okay, move forward from that. Another event is coming up later on down the line. I found out the lane was there. I said, she gotta be kidding me, man. I done told you, and you bring them to the event. I've caught her cheating numerous times since she been home. She's staying out on days my daughter got to go to school. My daughter's calling, she's not answering the phone. I'm calling, she's not answering when she with this lame. Then she's with this lame for days at a time. It's like crackhead behavior. I'm like, yo, something is wrong. Are they using drugs or something? Like, what's going on with her and this lane?
So it turns out Papoose was unfaithful too, reportedly throughout their marriage. A lot of it was just a carefully managed image. In truth, both of them were maintaining appearances. They said they stayed together for the sake of their daughter. And I believe that. But over time, it became clear they weren't really a couple anymore. Still, Papoose claimed they had an agreement to try to repair their relationship, which is why he took issue with Remy moving on with Easy. He genuinely thought reconciliation was possible. And honestly, I think Remy might have been open to staying if he had taken on more of the financial responsibilities.
Through this entire ordeal of her cheating with this lame, I started to notice that he had something on her. And I felt like he was blackmailing her. I'm gonna play the recording right now. This is the lame.
Yeah, man. So far as she's saying she fuck with me, I believe her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with that. But you're right though. Anything can happen. Oh, that shit gonna be 3 months, man. for how long it is. I got pictures and texts and videos of us. That shit's gonna blow whenever I say it's gonna go. I'm talking about when I'm saying that news of cheating and all of that shit go anytime. It don't matter if it's a week or whatever. Like, the only reason why it's sparking is because you just corny shit.
You just heard this lame who she was dealing with since 2022 say in his own voice, I got videos and pictures of us. That's going to go whenever I say so. One of the reasons why she's so angry at me is because she says, all of this is my fault. Y'all ready for this? Because I knocked him out. She said if I would have never knocked him out, she would have been stopped talking to him. She said the fact that I knocked him out, she had to keep talking to him because she didn't want him to expose things. But I want y'all to hear this. Listen to this.
She would have been over. He would have been over. You put me in a predicament, so I had to still kind of be cool with it to make sure you don't go all the way bad and I'm not getting dragged on both sides. My team Papoose and
Team. That's your name, babe, bro.
I didn't give a he care.
That is not true.
Talking to this nigga.
I would have been stopped talking with this nigga. So she's mad at me because I knocked him out. So she's telling me that I knocked him out. I put her in a position where she still had to be cool with him. But she tell y'all on live, oh, he's this. Oh, yeah. A man that treat me right. A man that did this and did that. You just said the other day you don't even deal with this lame no more. I just played her saying that she would have been done with him if I would have knocked him out. Guess what, y'all? He's still going to deal with her because he's a bum. The league is hers. It's not his. She threatens him anytime he get mad. Oh, I'm taking take it down. You sleeping with this girl, take it up. I got all of that document.
Papoose also mentioned he would have stayed in the relationship if Remy hadn't gotten involved with Easy. He even claimed that Easy pressured Remy into staying with him. Now, Papoose definitely came off a bit petty for recording those messages, but he used them to reveal what he saw as the real Easy. According to him, Easy was trying to influence Remy emotionally, and that's concerning. Then there's Tasha K, who brought more information to light. She said Easy, also known as the block captain, was allegedly messaging another woman while still involved with Remy. Supposedly, this happened back in November, so it's not new. But if the claims are accurate, it doesn't reflect well on EZY.SO. It's hard to take it seriously when Remy acts like Easy is a step up from Papoose. To be honest, they seem quite similar in behavior. Some would even say they resemble each other physically. Remy and Easy might appear happy together when they're out, but that doesn't mean everything is as it seems. Remy has always known how to keep up appearances. She did it with Papoose, so it's possible she's doing the same thing now, maybe even to provoke a reaction. And on the flip side, Papoose's connection with Claressa could also be about getting under Remy's skin. At this point, the whole situation feels performative. That's why it might be wise for Claressa to step away. The back and forth between Remy and Papoose has been non-stop online, him throwing jabs at Easy, her responding by saying he sold her jewelry for quick cash. The accusations were intense, but the situation really escalated once family members got pulled into the conflict. It's clear they're both trying to damage each other's image. The more they paint the other as the problem, the less accountability they have to take. Plus, both seem to want sympathy from the public by playing the victim. But the reality is they both made mistakes in this relationship, and they're now using public conflict to avoid facing that truth.
I'm with my daughter all the time. I don't just pick her up once a month, if that, and then run to social media and post it to make it seem like I'm the parent of the year. I've seen my daughter more than 3 times this year. He has a son. He acts like he doesn't have a son. He has a son. We have a son who is very much alive and well and probably feels slighted sometimes.
It hurts me that I gotta even say this about you, that I gotta even come on this live and do this. But the fact that you tried to mention my children, the fact that you had the audacity to come on here and say, I haven't seen my daughter, when you didn't allow me to see my daughter. You had the audacity to send me a text and tell me not to come to my child's party. Why did you do that? Because I moved on and I wasn't sitting in the house watching my daughter while you run around with this lame, come home to me and say you wasn't with him. You sit here and you want to mention my son. Okay. First and foremost, I love all my kids the same. Anybody who knows me knows that. She tried to go out here and exploit my son. And somebody told me, she said, oh, I'm gonna, if he keep talking, I'm gonna go on live with his son or whatever. What? You are the one who have malicious things to say about other people's kids. And I don't even want to bring my stepson in it because I know his situation is very serious and I love him. And I love my son the same. I love both of them. But I love my stepson like he my real son because I raised him. Even right now, in the situation that he's in, I went to visit him. You didn't even visit him. You waited till I visit him, then you went to visit him. But I love my son, I love my stepson, I love all my kids, I love my daughters, all the same. Like I said, as your kids get older, sometimes y'all have differences because as a parent, certain things you want for them, certain things they want for themselves. But that doesn't change the love. Love all my kids the same. You want to talk about, you want to pretend like you got any type of love for my son? You don't got no love for nobody in my family. You never showed no love for, you had animosity and hatred towards everybody, especially other women. You are a very unhappy individual.
She won't let me see my daughter. She won't let me see my daughter. I ain't never been to keep a man away from his kid. Are you talking about the times when you wanted to take her over to your mother's house? And I told you, don't be having my daughter around. One of your adopted sisters, knowingly, y'all all know about it over there, touching on kids. And that's why she ain't never been over there. That's why she don't know them. And you agreed with it when we were together. Hence why my daughter ain't never really go over there like that. By the way, my stepson called me. Want me to put him on my live? I'll put him on my live and let him go. I'll let him go. Mr. Great Dad, Mr. Great Husband. I will add him to my live and let him go on you. He told me thank you. I felt bad after because I didn't even realize that. Like, oh, I could have just possibly put him in and said thank you. Thank you, Remy. You weirdo.
But you came on here and you mentioned my kids. Then you went back on there and tried to act like you exploited my son, like it's something I'm ashamed of. So when she called me the other day, tried to get back with me yesterday, and I declined because she was so mad about Claressa, so angry because I finally moved on. She see us living our life.
As messy as this situation is, it's hard not to find some humor in it. Remy and Papoose are extremely petty, no question. But the way they keep going back and forth suggests that some feelings may still be there, which brings us back to Claressa, honestly. She should think twice, but we all know she's strong-willed and likely to stay by Papoose's side, even if it means dealing with the baggage that comes with Remy and this whole situation. Let me know what you think about this entire saga in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.